The Evil Eye, Part 2. The influence of the mysterious and malign power of the evil eye has at all times been as much dreaded in Ireland as it is in Egypt, Greece, or Italy at the present day. Everything young, beautiful, or perfect after its kind, and which naturally attracts attention and admiration, is peculiarly liable to the fatal blight that follows the glance of the evil eye. It is therefore an invariable habit amongst the peasantry never to praise anything without instantly adding, "God bless it." For were this formula omitted, the worst consequences would befall the object praised. The superstition must be of great antiquity in Ireland, for Balor, the Fomorian giant and hero, is spoken of in an ancient manuscript as able to petrify his enemies by a glance, and how he became possessed of the power is thus narrated. One day, as the Druids were busy at their incantations, while boiling a magical spell or charm, young Balor passed by, and curious to see their work, looked in at an open window. At that moment the Druids happened to raise the lid of the cauldron, and the vapor, escaping, passed under one of Balor's eyes, carrying with it all the venom of the incantation. This caused his brow to grow to such a size that it required 4 men to raise it whenever he wanted to exert the power of his venomed glance over his enemies. He was slain at last in single combat, according to the ancient legend, at the great battle of Magtura, the Plain of the Towers, fought between the Firbolgs and the Tuatha De Dananns, for the possession of Ireland several centuries before the Christian era. For before Balor's brow could be lifted, so that he could transfix his enemy and strike him dead with the terrible power of his glance, his adversary flung a stone with such violence that it went right through the evil eye and pierced the skull, and the mighty magician fell to rise no more. An interesting account of this battle, with a remarkable confirmation of the legends respecting it still current in the district, is given by Sir William Wilde in his work Loch Corrib, Its Shores and Islands. In the ancient manuscript, it is recorded that a young hero, having been slain while bravely defending his king, the Firbolg army erected a mound over him, each man carrying a stone, and the monument was henceforth known as the Cairn Inan Fer, the cairn of the one man. Having examined the locality with a transcript of this manuscript in his hand, Sir William fixed on the particular mound amongst the many stone tumuli scattered over the plain, which seemed to agree best with the description, and had it opened carefully under his own superintendence. A large flagstone was first discovered, laid horizontally, then another beneath it, covering a small square chamber formed of stones, within which was a single urn of baked clay. Graceful and delicate in form and ornamentation, containing incinerated human bones, the remains, there can be no reason to doubt, of the Firbolg youth who was honored for his loyalty by the erection over him of the Cairn Inan Fer on the historic plains of Mayo. After Balor, the only other ancient instance of the fatal effects of the malefic eye is narrated of Saint Silen, who had a poisonous hair in his eyebrow that killed whoever looked first on him in the morning. All persons, therefore, who from long sickness or sorrow, or the weariness that comes with years, were tired of life, used to try and come in the saint's way, that so their sufferings might be ended by a quick and easy death. But another saint, the holy Molas, hearing Saint Silen was coming to visit his church, resolved that no more deaths should happen by means of the poisoned hair. So he arose early in the morning, before anyone was up, and went forth alone to meet Saint Silen. And when he saw him coming along the path, he went boldly up and plucked out the fatal hair from his eyebrow, but in so doing, he himself was struck by the venom, and immediately after fell down dead. The power of the evil eye was recognized by the Brehon laws, and severe measures were ordained against the users of the malign influence. If a person is in the habit of injuring things through neglect or of will, whether he has blessed or whether he has not blessed, full penalty be upon him, or restitution in kind. So ran the ancient law. The gift comes by nature and is born with one, though it may not be called into exercise unless circumstances arise to excite the power. Then it seems to act like a spirit of bitter and malicious envy that radiates a poisonous atmosphere with chills and blights everything within its reach. Without being superstitious, everyone has felt that there is such a power and succumbed to its influence in a helpless, passive way, as if all self-trust and self-reliant energy were utterly paralyzed by its influence. Suspected persons are held in great dread by the peasantry, and they recognize them at once by certain signs. Men and women with dark, lowering eyebrows are especially feared, and the handsome children are kept out of their path lest they might be overlooked by them. Red hair is supposed to have a most malign influence, and it has even passed into a proverb. Let not the eye of a red-haired woman rest on you. Many persons are quite unconscious that their glance or frown has this evil power until some calamity results, and then they strive not to look at anyone full in the face, but to avert their eyes when speaking, lest misfortune might fall upon the person addressed. God bless it is universally used when praise is bestowed to prevent danger, and should a child fall sick, someone is immediately suspected of having omitted the usual phrase out of malice and ill will. Nothing is more dreaded by the peasantry than the full, fixed, direct glance of one suspected of the evil eye, and should it fall upon them, or on any of their household, a terrible fear and trembling of the heart takes possession of them, which often ends in sickness, or sometimes even in death.